Thanks for watching the Council in Brief. I'm Susan Kennedy. We're here with the top news of the Montgomery County Council for this first week in October. We start this time with a recommended plan that would revise the boundaries of the 5 county council districts. The plan is based on results from the latest census numbers and would go into effect for the 2014 council election. A charter provision requires the boundaries of council districts be reviewed every 10 years. Council members told us what they thought of the Commission's recommendations.
They have come forward with a map that they believe is appropriate for our county, that's contiguous, that meets all the legal tests, and we're at the very beginning stages of this. They've done their work. There will now be a public hearing on it, and then our council will vote on it in a couple of months.
I think from this plan, it actually is going to be good, because now you have a representative that you know knows all of your issues, is able to and has the time to be deeply involved in what's going on in your community, and I think that serves all of our communities very well.
Also Tuesday, introduction of a resolution that takes aim at the federal government and its spending. The federal budget reprioritization measure urges Congress to decrease military spending so we can better address our problems here at home. The resolution is sponsored by a host of council members, including Nancy Navarro.
I think it's important for local governments to also, at certain times, appropriately send a message with regards to how everything that the federal government is doing trickles down to the local level. And most certainly, our expenditure in defense and military spending and everything like that, does have an effect. And although we do support our soldiers, our men and women who are out there, at the same time we have to start looking towards future projections and also take into consideration how that particular piece of expenditure really takes a bite out of all the other social infrastructure services that we would like to continue to fund.
If the council approves a resolution, it will be sent to the President of the United States, the Maryland delegation to Congress, Governor Martin O'Malley, and the Maryland General Assembly. Twice a year, the council receives the semi-annual report of the Planning Board, which lays out the proposed work program for the board. Planning officials were on hand at this week's council session where they outlined the major planning and parks issues that are before them.
What we also heard is the really creative work that the Parks Department is doing, particularly in terms of engaging in public-private partnerships, reviving our Parks Foundation, and encouraging people to become members of the park system. So I would urge all our residents to take a look at their website and see and sign up, because we have a tremendous volunteering environment, and we also need, and they need a tremendous support environment from the community at large to help them be successful and get community members connected to the things they care about most.
Council President Valerie Ervin traveled to Washington, D.C. this week to stand up for nearly 12,000 of our region's office cleaners. Contracts for those workers expire on the 15th of this month, and those workers are calling for a fair contract for these jobs that they say are essential to our communities.
22 BJ, go do your work. And in 32 BJ, we always say 32 BJ, 32 we don't play. 32 BJ, 32 we don't play.
Well, we're all a soldier in the fight for workers' rights against corporate greed. There is nothing more important than what we're doing today to raise our voices, all of us in unison, that this has got to stop. So I am here, coming all the way from Montgomery County to stand with you in solidarity for your fight. So thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you.
They're in a contract fight with the employers who will not give an inch on whether or not these employees get to become full-time. They're asking for the ability to have health care coverage. I am always called on in times like these to lend my name and my voice in support of working families.
And don't forget, next Wednesday, the council will hold a youth town hall meeting that is open to the public. The event will be held at the council office building, and it will start at 7:30 p.m. Young people of all ages are invited to bring their questions and comments about the issues that matter most to you as a county resident. Well, that does it for this edition of the Council in Brief. I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for tuning in.